Hello guys, and welcome back to another skill point guide video for Total War Warhammer 3. Today we'll be going over Settra within the Tomb King race, and his skills are a little different. Unlike other lords that we've talked about already on the channel that have a dual melee line and spell lore of magic line, just because of how his faction plays overall with having unit caps, much like the Chaos Dwarves. But the issue with the Tomb Kings is that you can only increase the capacity for certain units at your major settlement, so they're really restricted on how many of their best units they can actually recruit. So you really have to just prioritize certain units and your armies depending on what your lord really prioritizes in terms of buffing. And so because of that, I do prioritize leveling him up a certain way over others, which is mostly melee and buffing his army. And for that, another reason on top of that is because the lore of Nehikara is one of the worst lores of magic in the game, in my opinion. It just is not very damage dealing. It does a lot of buffing and debuffing, which it can help at times, but in any army you really need a big damage dealer for a lore of magic. It can definitely swing the tide of a fight at any given situation, and it really comes in handy. And unfortunately, Nehikara magic just does not have that. But anyway, let's jump in and go with his blue line first. I definitely grab Root Marcher and then Canopic Jar Hoarder. Really good just to generate more Canopic Jars. I end up getting this ability with any lord when you play as the Tomb Kings, just so you can end up crafting more items, much like the Dwarf mechanic. It's more or less the same thing. That way you can just get different kinds of items, and you're just going to need loads and loads of Canopic Jars in order to do so, especially because they've changed it where you can infinitely increase your heal capacities using Canopic Jars as well as army capacities. So really important now, always has been, but even more essential now to grab those Canopic Jars. Now after that, I do go down his magic line just a little bit, basically just to get this passive. The passive ability, because you are playing as an undead faction, being able to heal your units when casting, and the incantation of Cursed Blades is super cheap, so you're able to just heal your units quite often in the battle early on with Settra. So really good passive ability to get there. But then after that, I just go down his red line. Now he provides quite a few bonuses for Tomb Guard units, so I usually do the Arrows of Asaph and the Sun-Scorched Bones just to provide some missile strength for your Skeleton Archers, which you'll be able to get early on, and then also buffing Tomb Guard units, but also Skeleton Warriors and Nehikara Warriors as well. Now I do finish out his red line just because you want to get Resurrect. Resurrect is a really good ability. It allows you to heal your units. If you hover over it here, it does an aerial effect of a 0.8% for 10 seconds. Just a really good way, since you are undead, you can heal back any units that you end up losing in a battle. That way you can mitigate your losses at the end of each fight. So really powerful ability there that I really like to work towards early on in the campaign. But after spending those points, I do like to grab his special skills because he does have quite a few good ones. Petra the Great Father is a really good one just to increase your hero recruit rank for Tomb Princes, and also buffing up your Tomb Guard and Chariot units in your army for Settra. And then the Unyielding Will is really good. It has a wide range, providing a melee attack and melee defense bonus of +5, which is really good. Not going to harm anything. It's a passive ability, so it's really good to use. Then I like to grab the Conqueror of the Past for the control +2 provinces. Really handy just to maintain public order, so you don't have to worry about that. Founder of Khemri, really good because it increases your hero recruit rank for Tomb Princes further, as well as your hero capacity. Again, anytime you can increase your hero capacities, really good skill point to grab within a skill tree there. And then lastly, I like to grab the Restless Minions, just because it increases your unit capacity, as well as providing more melee attack for Tomb Guard and Chariot units. And then I also like to grab the Immortal King of Nehikara, just to grab him some little buffs with charge bonus and physical resistance there. Now after going that, I really just focus on his melee line and grabbing some of the individual abilities up here for him. So Return into Madness just gives him a little more charge bonus and physical resistance. The Ancient Tyrant gives him, or sorry, not the Ancient Tyrant, excuse me. The Embalmed and Elixir gives him some hit points and fire resistance as well. And then the Ceremonial Bandages just gives him some missile resistance. Because I do really like to use him on his Khemrian War Sphinx. And because of that, he just becomes a larger target. So you just need to be able to debuff some enemy missile damage that way. But after that, I just go down his melee line completely. I usually don't end up getting the Sword of Cain. Now, you can get it because you don't pay upkeep for your armies. So other than the control, which you'll be able to mitigate, you will have to deal with the negative relations with a lot of people, which is not very handy because you will, or can anyway, make quite a bit of money, with trade when playing as the Tomb Kings. So I do like to grab Indomitable because of that, because it's unlikely that I personally will grab the Sword of Cain. That way he's just a little harder to break. And then just continuing down, just making him as strong as possible. Grabbing him some more speed and hit points here is really good. And Desert Strike just allows him to buff himself or an ally with some more melee attack and base weapon damage there. Now, as you can see, we only have 3 skill points remaining. I usually like to grab them into Mentor because eventually you will hit rank 50, and any experience that he's getting, if you're not sharing it with other lords in your campaign, you're just wasting it. So I really like to grab that ability. Plus, the other ones that you can get are just not that vital in my opinion, because I end up doing basically a Tomb Guard spam with him, with maybe a few chariots. So grabbing a little bit of charge bonus and speed for the army is just not that big of a deal, because they're just not going to be able to utilize it that much. And getting him, 6 more charge bonus and a little more speed, it just isn't that big of a deal for one unit in the battle. And again, his Magic Lion, unfortunately, Nehikara is just not that powerful, so I don't worry about it there. But that is how I usually level up Settra. Let me know down in the comments, guys, what you think, how you end up leveling him up. If you end up just kind of making him a one-man Doomstack, going down his Magic Line and Melee Line, let me know down there. Again, in the comments, I'm always interested to see how you guys decide to level up a Legendary Lord compared to mine. But don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you guys are enjoying the content. And I will see you guys again soon for the next skill point guide video or live stream on the channel. Until then, have a good one, guys, and I will see you later. Bye.